So welcome everyone. A little bit about Nourish Bangladesh to start out with. We're founded in June 2020 in response to the COVID-19 pandemic and in response to Cyclone Amphan, which devastated Bangladesh. And we were a group of students and Bangladeshis and just friends of the organization who wanted to figure out a way to help Bangladesh as it was struggling during this time. And we focused on emergency relief at the very beginning, trying to figure out what were NGOs, what were volunteer organizations that were able to effectively put our funds to use. And so while we started out doing emergency relief, we ended up realizing that there was a demand to keep this organization going long term. And so we ended up registering as a 501c3 nonprofit in February of 2021. And so again, as I said before, we vet NGOs and grassroots volunteer groups in Bangladesh. Many of these organizations don't actually have access to Western funds. And so what we sort of do is we pool those funds, we make sure that these funds are tax deductible, and then we send those funds over to these organizations that are incredibly effective. And the primary work that we do is dry food meal provision. So, we give people the basic staples that they need to feed themselves. Since we launched in June 2020, about 1 million meals provided in this time, and we have reached 50,000 households through our work. As I said before, our bread and butter as an organization is dry food distribution. This is, one of the most effective ways to get people the food that they need. And one way that you can conceptualize of your donation is that 10 US dollars can feed a family of 4 for 2 weeks. And one thing that you should know about us is we do put a lot of effort into making sure that we are reaching all different parts of Bangladesh, including especially areas that are less well served and maybe falling through the cracks as far as the work of some of the major NGOs and aid organizations. And this is a map, again, as you can see, literally covering every single part of Bangladesh, and especially the parts in extreme poverty. We were founded initially as an emergency relief organization, and while we do have regular projects that we continue to run, we do still try to do emergency response whenever it is necessary. So there have been major fires in Rohingya refugee camps, and so we've been able to work with our implementing partners to make sure that we're able to get relief aid to these camps. And there have also been communal violence against Hindus in Purganj, and we've made sure to address that as well. Some of the things that we've done recently is we've been trying to do some COVID medical relief. So COVID has definitely wreaked havoc across Bangladesh. There are people who don't have access to vaccines yet, and because Bangladesh is such a densely populated country, it can be difficult to stem the spread of COVID-19. And so we've been working with our partners to have specialized funds that are separate from our food fund that we use to provide oxygen cylinders, pulse meters, PPE, masks all across to school children and the economically disadvantaged. And so that's been a key part of our mission when COVID was very serious in Bangladesh. More recently, we did a winter blanket drive this year because low-income individuals in North Bengal struggle a lot with low temperatures during the winter. Yeah, someone reached out to us and said, hey, we think blankets are necessary. So we decided to add this as an additional project and as a separate funding stream. And that's one thing that we really pride ourselves in as an organization is while we do focus on dry food provision, we also make sure to be open to addressing needs that people bring to us. We're also really proud to facilitate Zakat and Qurbani, and we've partnered with our implementers to make sure that donors have an option to use their Zakat and Qurbani in Bangladesh to help organizations that have experience doing this sort of work, and that we're using your funds in an appropriate way. So how can you help Nourish Bangladesh? Feel free to reach out to us. I think all of you in some ways are friends with members of the Nourish Bangladesh Board of Directors or Advisory Council. And if you're just sort of curious as to how you can help, reach out to us and talk to us. Obviously, the best way that you can help Nourish Bangladesh is just to donate to us. And we really appreciate every dollar and every pound that is donated to us. You can also donate your birthday. So through that, we essentially help you to set up a Facebook fundraiser that you can use to raise money for us on your birthday. As I mentioned previously, if you're Muslim, Zakat and Qurbani are great ways to support Nourish Bangladesh. We also have a trivia competition that we do about once every other month, and you can follow our social media feeds to make sure that you are up to date on when the next trivia competition will be. Spread the word. We always appreciate people posting about us on social media. And then you can join Nourish Bangladesh yourselves. Again, just reach out to us. We would love to have more people join us. We have plenty of different opportunities for people. If you want to be a fundraiser for us, if you want to be on our advisory council and help us make decisions, or if you have some sort of technical specialty that you want to use to help us, you're